A design document is typically a sheet of notes that tell you, as the creative person, what the story of the product is, what the style of the product should be, and the expectations all around. For example, deadlines and that kind of stuff. Now, whether or not you receive an actual design document or not from an art director or someone in the production pipeline is really not that important because you, as the creative person, should, of course, write notes at all times. And you should know exactly what they want based on the meetings you have. Now, in this instance, I used Google Docs, which is free, to create an example of what a design document might have in it. For example, here's the Arctic Bite Gum spot. Here's a story that I wrote real fast just to explain the world and the demographics of what this gum is about. Now, in this case, the Arctic Bite Gum brand is the premier sports gum for winter athletes. I gave it age demographic, and I also said something very important about this audience. The audience plays video games, loves music and colorful headphones, and are glued to their social media. And if you've ever seen teenagers walking in the mall, you know what I mean. They don't see the mall anymore, they see the phone. Now, what about the style? They're telling us here how they'd like this to look. And it says quite clearly they prefer a cartoony style to accompany the energy of the sports network that this is going to be on. And it also gave me something else very important. Think along the lines of video games like SSX for reference or other cartoony snowboarding games. So I did some research on a video game I used to actually play called SSX, and it is pretty cool. It's got some really fun characters. It's relatively cartoony. It's got a lot of energy, and it just gives me an idea of some of the things that I might want to think about for this scene. You know, mountains and snow and a really bold logo and that kind of stuff. So they just give that as a reference because that might be what the art director's familiar with, and they like that style. You see, that happens a lot. The art director has an idea of what they want to see, and they will typically choose someone based on their strengths. For example, I'm a cartoonist. I do comic books, I do children's books. I don't do very realistic stuff. So they would probably call me to submit some samples or see to my portfolio to see whether or not I'd be a good fit for this project. So always try to work towards your strengths because you'll get work based on that most of the time. Now, here's an example of the script they provided. All right. The X Games brought to you by Arctic Bite Gum. Arctic Bite Gum telling bad breath to take a chill. So this is an example of what the dialogue might be. And here is what they want me to do. Please provide sketches and storyboards for approval before moving ahead. In other words, don't do anything else until they said they like or don't like what you've given them. Very, very, very important because they're going to make notes. They're going to say, I like this, but I don't like that. Combine this with combine that and do this and do that. And then you'll probably do some more sketches and then you move ahead to the actual production and the deadline, 2 weeks. So I have 2 weeks to do storyboards and sketches to present to them. So this is an example of a design document. Once again, if you don't actually get this from someone, you should come up with it by yourself by the notes you write as you listen in on the meeting. Right, guys? So very important, the design document.